Hey everybody, happy Friday. We made it through another week, and I am so excited for this guest today from Twilio. We're going to talk all about customer engagement innovation with Meera, VP of Product at Twilio Flex. Meera, how are you?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm very excited to talk to you about Flex, all things AI.
Indeed, we have a lot of really exciting topics to chat about. But first, you have an amazing background at Amazon AWS, and more. Maybe introduce yourself and your team as well within Twilio.
Absolutely, yeah. I've been at Twilio now for almost 2 years, coming up on 2 years, and I manage product and design for Twilio Flex, which is our contact center product for those who weren't aware. Before that, I spent 8 years at Amazon. I worked at Amazon Education for the first four. My background previous to that is largely in education and education technology. So went to Amazon through an acquisition, spent 4 years in Amazon Education building products for K-12 schools, for educators as well as students, and then went to AWS where I worked on low code, no code products, which was very exciting and very cutting edge until Gen AI came out and suddenly
Hmm.
low code has become coding in English. So that's very exciting to see.
English, the most exciting new programming language. So, of course, you guys have a ton of developers, and we're gonna dive into all of that. But maybe just set the scene for us. What are some of the challenges, opportunities companies are facing when integrating AI into their customer service systems? A lot of legacy out there. Give us a snapshot, if you would, of the state of play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, AI specifically in the world of contact centers is not a new thing, really. I think, Gen AI earlier this year has sort of come into the scenes with a big bang. And at the moment, really, what we're working on and what we hear customers working on is, okay, how do we go from a very deterministic path of using products like conversational AI, where you declare every intent, determine every flow that could, land you in to a place where you're now leveraging, generative AI constructs to be able to not have to define everything, but rather to train the models on, knowledge bases, train the models on FAQs, and to have a more adaptive, dynamic experience between the end customer and the brand. So what we're our customers are very eager to see what we're working on and how we're going to bring this into our products for them. I think the most exciting thing that's happening at Twilio really is not just sort of bringing in the power of LLMs, but really thinking about how Twilio can help customers in a way that sort of I believe we're uniquely able to do. We have acquired, as you know, Segment a few years ago, and Segment is the lead
Hmm.
CDP, and that with that comes a wealth of first-party data and real-time data to understand customers better. And when you marry these two technologies, I think we have the ability to deliver a very hyper-personalized, that's the word we've been using, hyper-personalized experience for end customers.
Well, it's an exciting time to be a customer as well, and to have this technology presented to you. Of course, AI has been a long time coming, as you know, through your career. What are some of the challenges you've seen historically, and what are some of the challenges that still linger on, despite access to amazing technology and APIs and tools? What's stopping companies right now from adopting some of this latest tech?
I think things are moving so fast. I would characterize it sort of
Hmm.
less as stopping companies from adopting, but in the contact center
Hmm.
spaces, like, it takes time to train up agents. It takes time to roll out new
Hmm.
technology. So they need to do it in very thoughtful, intentional ways. And so we're in this phase right now where many of our customers are piloting what we have built. We announced this recently at Signal. We announced, customer AI for contact centers, which is very much the marriage of that real-time data and LLMs. And the first launch of that is going to be an agent experience, right? So again, this
Hmm.
is this is a way for us to ensure that our customers get comfortable with how LLMs are being, Gen AI is being brought into contact centers. So we're going to start with things like knowledge-based search, next best response, next best action, things that have existed before, but now are powered, with the real-time data that's coming in from our CDP. So, think about, I think the example that I used in a video I made for Signal is if I'm at a hotel and I call down for, a specific type of pillow, being able to capture that insight just from the voice transcript means the next time that, I'm staying at that hotel, they already know my preferences and are able to cater to my needs, right? So when you think about the delight that can offer to end customers, I think that really is that marriage of the AI and the data. And that's really what we're trying to bring to life for agents. So call comes in, the agent has the TLDR of the customer's entire profile.
Mm,
Evan called in, Evan likes X, Evan likes Y. There's a high likelihood that Evan is going to buy this particular tablet because he was looking at the pages on the website, multiple times in the last couple of days. So those types of things help agents serve their customers better. It can definitely reduce the amount of time to resolve an issue, which is definitely a metric that's very, very important to call centers. At the
mm.
same time, I think call centers are moving from being sort of purely cost centers to also how can they drive revenue. So I think the real-time data can help agents see if there's opportunities to upsell, services or additional products. So we're starting with that experience with agents first, and we'll then be rolling it out to subsequent, virtual agents, supervisors, and more.
Fantastic. I saw an interesting data point on your website. 72% of US CEOs are prioritizing Gen AI investments. Do you see that impacting in 2024? Or how do you see that push, that drive, that interest?
Absolutely. Yeah, we've been talking all Q4 with many customers about this product, and they're all very excited, but it's also, peak season, retail season, people going on, breaks and so on. So I expect to see an explosion of interest in Q1 and a lot of customers trialing the products that we have in, staging environments and so on, and gradually rolling out to agents. I think, the excitement is really just yet to come.
Hmm. Well,
Yeah.
that's good to see. Um, you talked about agent experience. It's such a tough job to be a contact center agent, very stressful, a lot of overload. So, but tell us some of the top ways that AI is going to help with those challenges, the daily workload that those agents have.
Yeah, I think where AI can is really going to help, much in the way that Microsoft has shown with their like Copilot offering. I think it takes a lot of the toil out of the work for agents.
Mm.
So one of the ideas I like to call it the TLDR for agents. Team will probably come up with a much more creative name for that feature. But when someone is calling in, how can you quickly in like two sentences pithy give the agent the information that they need to know that is absolutely essential when they pick up the phone or answer the message to a customer. I think that takes out the toil of having to review endless transcripts or summaries, look at full previous history. Like AI is so amazing at being able to take so much data, whether it's structured and unstructured, and doing that hard work for you. So I think that's one area where it's going to be super helpful. I think the second is, because in cases where we're doing real time transcripts and obviously with messaging that is happening in real time, the text, now the AI is going to be able to quickly look up knowledge bases and just pop up the answer directly to the agent so they can provide it to the customer instead of them having to go think of the right words to search for it, copy and paste. So I don't know. I mean, all of us have been on, chat conversations with agents, and sort of the
Mm.
time delay between you asking a question and them getting an answer can often be because they're doing multiple chats at the same time, which is common. But it's
Hmm.
also
Hmm.
because they're going off and searching for these things. So I think in big ways it's going to help reduce that sort of toil aspect for them. And I think it in on the company side, on the brand side, I think it is going to reduce the amount of training, upfront training they need to do, because you have a live assistant, right, that is trained on the company's material, their FAQs, their knowledge bases, connected with their internal APIs, that it is this ready, willing, and able assistant for every agent. So those are some of the ways I think it's going to be super beneficial to agents in a contact center. And I'm hoping through all of this that our customers, Twilio's customers, see less attrition, right? It's not going to be zero ever, but I'm
Mm.
hoping that this sort of, as you said, it's a hard job, and a lot of it is repetitive. And I think this could result in there being less burnout and therefore less attrition, which means you're getting more value out of the agents that you've spent a lot of time and resources hiring.
Love that. Very interesting approach there. And AI seems to enable a whole raft of new capabilities we've never had before, things like customer intent analysis, predictive customer engagement.
Mhm.
Maybe decode what those are and how they can be used in a sort of for new
Yeah,
CX opportunities.
absolutely. So, I think even as the conversation is underway, regardless of the channel that it's happening in, AI is going to, analyze the words that are being exchanged, and is able to detect. And this happens today. There are many conversational AI products that do this today.
Mm,
Twilio's voice intelligence product does this today, is able to detect the sentiment, detect sort of the intent as well, right? Um, and the agent is subsequently able to use that cue to figure out, like, when you have a frazzled customer, like, how do you, and that's where the agent training, I think, comes in, is when you recognize that someone is frazzled, how do you get them to be comfortable, how do you get to a place where you can reassure them that you are going to help resolve their issues,
mm,
and so on. I think in terms of the predictive traits, yeah, I think you mentioned that. So this is very much coming in for Twilio Flex from our integration with our segment CDP, where the during the setup process, uh, the administrators can define, like, what are the traits they want to be tracking, right? Is it in a retail use case, it might be something like a propensity to buy. In a could be propensity to churn, and so on. So we have some suggested traits that customers can track, and then subsequently pipe that information into the agent experience so they can use this during a conversation. So the range of traits that we have are, the more emotional ones, like things around intent and sentiment. You have business specific ones around propensity to churn, propensity to buy, those types of things. And then, as I mentioned in the pillow example a little bit earlier, these are things, what we call it the Twilio perception engine, but these are
mm.
inferences that we can make from analyzing transcripts of conversations. And all of this ultimately will tie into that TLDR. It's going to tie into the live help that the AI is going to give the agent during the interaction with the customer.
Oh, fantastic opportunity. The other opportunity that's opening up, not just here in the US, but globally, is language translation, eliminating, reducing language barriers, not just for the written word, but spoken word in real time, customer service and beyond, things like telehealth, telemedicine, and more. How do you see yourself supporting this wave of opportunities?
Yeah, we're actively looking into this. There's definitely been a lot of requests from, we have customers in Latin America who are dealing with customers who are not speaking, Portuguese or Spanish. And so
Mm,
they want that sort of live translation where the agent is speaking in their native language and the customer is hearing the translation with the tonality and the,
mm.
intonations maintained in the response. So we are actively looking into how do we incorporate those technologies as well into our products? Yeah.
Yeah, very exciting. I saw a demo from a tech company doing real-time video translation, including lip syncing,
Wow.
Chinese to English, with, no glitches in real time. So talk about the power of the network opening up new opportunities for developers. It's
It's
really
fascinating. It's
an
every day
exciting
it's
time.
mind-boggling. The things that we are doing to help customers have better experiences, and really leveraging technology, I think, in ways that were beyond my imagination even a year ago.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
year ago is a long time away. You touched on personalization in CX. When I think about that, when I go into Apple or I call them, I mean, they know everything about me. They know who I am, the products and services I use. They know when I've arrived in the store. Every company can't be Apple, but is that sort of the vision you see of personalization, that's of knowing the customer so well and customizing the service to them?
I think so. I mean, yes, I've had the same experiences at the Apple Store, and I think with the work that we are doing in integrating, these technologies of like the data and the AI, I think
Mm,
there's no reason why every brand couldn't offer that same level of service as Apple
mm.
does, that we all love. Like, why shouldn't you have it at a mattress store or with an airline, right?
Oh,
Absolutely. I
totally.
think
Yeah.
I think it's totally possible. Yeah.
Well, I
And
can't wait for that.
it is, yeah. I think that, and personalization, I think, goes beyond recognizing that Evan has walked in the store, and which is they know your name, they know your location, etc. But I think this is where the real time events being piped into a contact center, or even a sort of outbound contact center. Any of these, when you think about that, now you have added information around intent in a different way, right? Like if you imagine a credit card company instrumenting their website. And you've got all of these
Mm,
knowledge base. I mean, all of us go to Google in some way, shape, or form when we have a
mm,
question about an issue we're facing or something we're trying to resolve. And as soon as the company sees that I'm looking at a particular page, perhaps with an interest in a new card or something like this, as
mm,
soon as I call in or message in, companies have the ability to use that web, surfing data to say, well, I should just pipe Meera in directly to the person who's going to be able to support her on the card she was just looking at, right? So I think it goes beyond the profile information to like the next thing about the behavioral data, like what has the customer, um, how is the customer engaged with our brand, outside sort of that purview of the profile information that we can then use to serve them better. So
I
we're
love that.
yeah, we're looking a lot as well as how do we bring in that behavioral aspect to further personalize the interaction.
And email and all channels. It's not just about
All of
voice
them.
or text these days. So it's
Yeah, exactly.
fantastic. So we've, the industry's poured a lot of technology over the last decade into customer satisfaction. It's not clear how much that has moved the needle in terms of loyalty and overall CSAT. Do you think AI is going to change that over the next couple years?
It is surely going to have an impact on CSAT, on time to resolution. I think it is going to
Mm,
accelerate. I've heard, in the almost 2 years I've been at Twilio, I've heard about how contact centers are moving from being purely cost centers to revenue drivers. And we're seeing that in
mm,
small ways today. But I fully expect that when so much data is being leveraged with the help of AI in these conversations, that move is going to be further accelerated for our customers. And I fully expect, um, that it's going to have a positive impact, I think, on CSAT. I think it's going to have a positive impact on time to resolution. I think self-service help is going to improve vastly.
mm.
I have a teenage daughter who doesn't want to talk to anybody. Like picking up the phone is, when the phone rings and she calls me, like I always pick it up because it's such a rare thing. But they want that sort of, just to be able to search and find the answers to these things. So I think that's going to lead as well to better economies for contact centers.
Oh, I love that. And of course, you guys do so much in these channels like messaging, not just
Yeah,
telephony. I think, support with iMessage and RCS now is going to be a really exciting channel to
absolutely.
support customers. And speaking of AI, I mean, what's your thought on balancing AI and the human touch,
Yeah,
uh,
I think
personalization? I like to call people, Gen Xers, we like to make calls into the contact center, but that's not always the case, right?
It depends really. I mean, it's on the context as well, right? I think there are times, let's say you're traveling and you're, stuck somewhere, you miss a flight. In those cases, you absolutely want to pick up the phone and you want to have a quick human connection, few words exchanged, and you want to be on your way. There's always going to be a set of use cases where you want to speak to a human immediately.
Mm,
Right. And I think that there are some verticals, like I would say healthcare and insurance, and think about wealth management. Like those are all very personal, very sensitive, and quite often people
mm,
feel that comfort in talking to another human. Sometimes the same human every time, so there's a continuity of that relationship. So I definitely think that, as we help our customers adopt these technologies in their call centers, like and we're also providing, best practices to ensure that they retain that customer empathy and are meeting their customers where, at a place and point where they're most comfortable interacting with a bot or, interacting with an agent. So we're definitely thinking about those things as we build and deploy tech. Yeah.
well, definitely ChatGPT has opened the door to comfort level interacting with bots. That's for sure.
It
That's no
absolutely
going
has. I
back.
have to say, when it came out, I don't think there was a single social conversation I had where it didn't come up. Yeah.
Yeah, exciting times. And if you would give us a little snapshot of the Twilio Flex family, products, services,
Yeah. So
tools, what is it? What comprises it? Yeah.
yeah. So Flex is Twilio's contact center application, and it was launched about 6 years ago, I want to say.
Hmm.
And what it consists of, so when we launched it, it was very much about bringing that power of programmability, because Twilio is, the developers are our core customers and core end users. We are API first in every way, and so was
Mm,
Flex, which I think was a very novel thing when it came out, which is, take the power of this programmability, use it to build the customer experience that you want to offer to your customers. You know that best, and we're going to give you all of the tools to be able to build it. And that was, embraced by our customers in very significant ways. And so we power IVRs, we power
mm,
contact centers. We Customers use our UI surface. And some customers just use a headless version where they're using our SDKs and APIs to, build their own
mm,
UI or to embed, aspects of Flex in applications that they're using. So it is very flexible, in terms of lending itself to various types of deployments. Um, and it does offer, the core contact center capabilities, and now we're, augmenting it with integrations with CCAI and, agent copilot like Gen AI. We're thinking about how do we think about customer AI for a contact center sort of as a whole. And I think I mentioned, like, we're trying to hit all of those personas from the agent to the supervisor, and that how all of those things ultimately impact the end user experience.
a fantastic opportunity. So we're wrapping up the end of the year here. I assume you're not traveling anymore, but you must have a busy agenda firming up for 2024. What are you looking forward to?
Uh, so we have our sales kickoff, and at the end of January. So very, very excited to be able to enable our entire sales force with all the things that we've been working on. Just 2023 itself has been a super busy year for the team. But also
Mm,
incredibly fulfilling, because we have this mechanism inside Twilio where a hoot is sent out every time something launches, and it's just been this deluge of hoots coming from the team, sort of, in Q4, bringing all the things they've been working on for the last couple of quarters to fruition and ultimately in the hands of customers. So we get to take all of that, package it, and enable the sales team to go off and bring it to our customers. And then, of course, on the product side, we're continuing to innovate. We're working with partners. We're working with teams internally at Twilio, and want to bring more innovation to our customers. At one point, I didn't make earlier when you were sort of asking about how do we get our customers comfortable with this. And a big piece of that really is the work that Jeff announced at Signal, which is the nutrition facts, right? So we
Mm.
created this very familiar concept that you see on any food item that you purchase, the nutrition facts label, and I think that has gone a long way in our customers seeing that we mean it when we say we want to be transparent and responsible, right? And so we're telling them exactly what AI technologies we're using, where and how, if their data is being used, where and how it's used, where it's being stored. Oh, thank you for sharing this. Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So it has. We have received so much positive feedback from analysts, from customers, other companies that want to use this same mechanism. So we created this website so they can create their own labels. It has gone an incredibly long way in really helping customers see that we mean it when we say we want to be transparent, responsible, and accountable to them.
Wow, thanks for the shout out. Someone in marketing deserves a gold star. This is a wonderful way to consider AI. I think every technology might need this, broadband and other services where you just don't know what's happening behind the scenes. So yeah, thanks so much for your time and sharing your insights, and so many events next year from Enterprise Connect to CCW and channel partners. I'm sure we'll get the chance to say hello.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have this chance to speak with you, Evan, and thank you for letting me share my excitement with you and your audience.
Likewise. Well, thank you. And thanks everyone for watching. Reach out to Twilio all over social media, always very engaging and interesting. Okay, take
See you
care. Have a good
next
weekend.
holiday.
Bye, everyone.